Welcome to the Hottest Wellness Podcast. I've got time with Cherry ShaKayla.
Here we discuss personal growth, relationships, and healing to become aligned with the best version of ourselves.
Hey.
What's up, baby?
I'm chilling, I'm vibing. I'm gonna say that every week. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm sleepy. A teens hungry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry too. Yeah.
I'm good though. I was watching a bunch of food TikToks last night. I want to make everything.
See, you go on a different way than it with me, you know. You want to make the food. I want to like go out and enjoy the food.
Well, that too, but it was like people making food.
Mm.
Like
what
if
was
I
your
see
favorite thing?
this pasta this guy made that like didn't require heavy cream, so I'm making that today.
Okay, all right. Pasta City. I love me a good creamy pasta though.
Yeah. It's irresistible, but I want more for us.
Yeah. You can substitute heavy cream for anybody that is, you know, trying to get out of the dairy lifestyle like ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You can substitute heavy cream with almond milk or soy milk if you just add some lemon juice to it, preferably fresh squeeze, you know what I'm saying? And that gives it the curdling it needs to like be the same as heavy cream in a, you know, pasta dish.
I do have a question about that. Because I did that for the last pasta I made. Should I do that separately and mix it and then pour it in?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay, that explains
There's
a
a chemical reaction from the acidity of the lemon that occurs. So, yeah.
That makes sense. Next time.
So, is there anything you want to get off your chest this week?
No. Well, I was in the line today at the store.
What store you was at?
I was at Kroger.
Okay, Krogs.
For cashiers, don't make weird hit on me eye contact. It's really uncomfortable.
Did they say anything?
No. It was just one of those...
Look at me. How did they look at you?
I don't know if I can do it on the spot, but you know that that lingering stare that's like, say something, and it's like,
It was a dude or a girl?
it was a dude. It was just like, don't make eye contact with me like that. It's flattering. I know I still got it. But I'm trying to get out of here. I'm not trying to talk to nobody. I don't want to interact. Just ring me up, man. Just ring me up.
And that's why I go to self-checkout. Not that specific reason, but just like to avoid, you know, any type of like verbal exchanges. Yeah.
I respect self-checkout. It's cool when you got like 1 to 2 items, but I was a cashier for a very long time. That's not my job. I'm not ringing that up. I'm not ringing it up.
I don't mind ringing my own stuff up.
I don't want to do it. Especially if I got more than 3 things. Getting in the line. I'm not getting paid for this.
Okay. Well, I hate to move into a more serious direction. What I want to get off my chest this week. I don't want to stay here long because this is more of like a chill, laid back episode. Not trying to get into too much, but there was a couple mass shootings in the last couple of weeks, which were racially motivated. I don't want to really get into it or say much about it, you know, except for like, you know, prayers for the family or anybody that may be impacted by this. Because it's just such a scary situation, you know what I'm saying? You could just literally be anywhere now and anything could happen. And that's fucking scary. And so I just want to remind you guys that it's right now we have the power as far as gun legislation goes, and so we need you guys to be like out there voting and making sure that people don't have access to an AR-15 because they can't. You know what I'm saying? It's like at this point, what else can we do? And I don't even know what to say. Maybe you should consider legally getting a weapon. It's like,
I would say so. I feel like having a weapon is a good call, but it's only a good call if you intend to learn how to use it correctly. If you buy a weapon and you just store it away and you like, oh, I'm gonna just whip it out if I need it, that's not a good idea.
it's a terrible idea. Gun safety and education is super important. Like Cherry said, I think the main takeaway is that guns don't necessarily keep people safe because somebody always gets hurt. Whether you are the victim or the assailant in the situation, somebody's gonna get hurt either way. So to me, there's like no way around it. I feel like it just needs to be like a more crackdown of who can have weapons or not. Because the other thing with that is, say like if you a regular person, you go out, get a gun, don't have no training for it, and you just have the intention of using it should you need it, you're scared as fuck. Like, my cousin was telling me about a situation that happened to her job recently, and it was like no guns or anything, but somebody kind of like physically had got aggressive with her, and that her like really had left her in a messed up state. And it was just like there was nothing that she could do to prepare for that situation. And she told me that she felt like she froze up, and she always felt like she was confidently the type of person to be able to defend herself in that situation or something like that. But like, you literally don't know what you might do or who you might hurt trying to protect yourself. Like, to me, weapons just ain't never gonna be the answer. Like, you can't fight guns with more guns. Like, that sounds dumb to me. Yeah.
I feel you. I respect it.
You guys let us know your thoughts below in the comments. We would love to hear it. You want to get into the affirmation of the week?
Let's do it. Affirm us.
This week's affirmation is, I give myself permission to take up space. How's that affirmation make you feel?
Like I need to just do the things that I'm thinking about and stop finding reasons and excuses not to, or why it might not
Do
be
you feel
accepted.
like that's what's holding you back, is the fear of taking up space or not feeling like you should or can?
I feel like it's... Sometimes I have the feeling that it's so many other people that do it way better. So why am I trying?
Yeah. Don't even think like that, because at the same time, there's so many people that are doing it way worse than you.
Right.
And they're finding success in it. One thing that I'm learning with myself is to really be patient where I am in my journey, because I've been in a different place in this journey. You know what I'm saying? That right there, reflecting on that, it's like, oh shit, like now I have so many more skills and talents. And when I started on this journey, when I started podcasting, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about audio. I didn't know anything about video. Hikey still don't. That's really Cherry's bag. I absolutely didn't know anything about marketing or graphic design. And so like, that didn't stop me at all from starting a podcast. Like, I started it because I really wanted to do it. I felt like my voice mattered, and it do. And so, like, everything that you want to do, it matters too. Like, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you absolutely deserve to take up space. Like, there's people out there that are waiting to receive what it is that you have to offer to the collective.
Woo. I'm nervous.
I mean, yeah, but you know your body don't know the difference between nervousness and excitement. So it's like, just do it. Just tell yourself, I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about all the possibilities that I have no idea what they might be. Because we always say, what if something bad happened? But what if the best thing ever happened?
Yeah.
Like, that.
What if I instantly pop?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm here for that.
Yeah. I think that affirmation is important, and I definitely feel like more people need to affirm with themselves that it is okay for them to take up space. A lot of it be childhood trauma. We always go back to that. People who make you feel small. But then sometimes it be ourselves, our own negative self-talk. Sometimes it be the place that we in right now, our friends, our environment, that making us feel like we shouldn't be taking up space. And that right there just tells you that you in the wrong places. Not that what you have to offer is not valuable. You got to get around people who see the value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Facts, B.
So what are we discussing this week?
On today, we got a calm version. I'll do it again for those who missed it. On today, we are discussing emotional intelligence. Yeah.
Do you know what emotional intelligence is?
Well, let me tell you what I always thought it was prior to actually knowing the definition. I always thought emotional intelligence was just... I thought it was just about self and your own emotions and being able to express them or know what you even feeling in the first place. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely that, but it's even more expansive than that, because just like we're creating our own reality, other people are part of that vision. You know what I'm saying? So our behavior towards ourselves, how we perceive what's happening in our life, it impacts the other people around us too. Like, it's definitely not just for you. It's like boundaries. It's like, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the definition of emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and those of the people around you. And this is according to Daniel Goleman of the American Psychologist, renowned as the godfather of EQ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely everything that you said, but it also expands into our reality of who we could be in other people's lives, and also how we interact when our feelings are not just of our own, you know what I'm saying? Because, like,
Yeah.
other people's feelings do be impacting you, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like you're an emotionally intelligent person?
Yes. I think sometimes it takes me a while to process. Is that processing? It takes me a while sometimes to figure out the root emotion.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, this past week, I may or may not.
Tell the girls.
So, my best friend and I are very close. We talk every day. We went an extended amount of time without talking to each other, and it was affecting me. And
how was it affecting you?
It was making me sad. Like, I was very down.
Yeah.
And I started spiraling. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought something else was happening. And then it started affecting the way I was interacting with you, and then, you know,
Yeah.
I realized 2 days ago. This is why.
Yeah. I was listening back to our episode called Conscious Love.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that episode? And that's one thing that we missed out on talking about is emotional intelligence, and how when you do practice emotional intelligence, how much of a healthy impact that has on your relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we talked about unconditional love and showing up as our best selves, or even being self-aware, which is part of emotional intelligence. But I think that's like a major key, you know what I'm saying, to having healthy relationships. Being able to understand how you feel, but also being able to understand and see, empathize where other people are coming from. Like, top notch. It's like, if you in relationships with people and at the end of the day you feel like they don't care about how you feel, that's an issue, you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean, oh my God, I gotta hurry up and get out of these relationships. I mean, okay, I need to communicate how I feel about this and try and work towards like more positive interactions in a relationship.
Yeah. Ooh. That felt like a deep dive.
So we kind of talked about, I guess, why emotional intelligence is important. There's like 3 things that mainly make up what emotional intelligence, and that's being able to self-reflect, being able to self-soothe, and having empathy. And I was like, damn, this is like the trifecta for inner peace for real.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you could self-reflect, then necessarily you don't have to wait on somebody to tell you what you're doing or how it's impacting other people. It's like, okay, I can reflect on that. Yeah. If you can self-soothe, then you don't have to wait on nobody to validate your feelings or tell you, it's going to be okay, baby. Like, sometimes you absolutely need that, but sometimes you got to put on your big girl panties and do it for yourself. Like, hey, honey. Everything's going to be all right, in my Bob Marley voice. And then, of course, empathy is super important, because that's like having the ability to give ourselves grace. Like, okay, you made this mistake 3 times. So what if you make it another 4? This is where you at right now in your journey, and I'm accepting that, and I'm okay with it. You know, like, it's just being able to have empathy for yourself. And when you have empathy for yourself, it spills over into your relationships with other people. You like able to empathize with them when they going through something. Like, the easiest example is people be like, nobody ever check on me. My friends don't know if I'm okay. Did you call to check on me to see if I was blah, blah, blah? And it's like, did you call to check on them, nigga? They probably going through something right now. And it's like, you can have enough empathy to say, oh God, me, what am I going through? But then you can't extend that empathy towards others to say like, okay, probably they got their own shit going on. That's why they haven't reached out to you, type of thing. Like, yeah.
Everybody be going through stuff all the time, too. I have to remind myself of that sometimes. Like, I feel like it's at the front of my mind most of the time, but, like, sometimes it's just like, well, what are you doing? I used to not be empathetic. Well, I used to think that I wasn't empathetic at all.
What makes you think that? You think that people you was in relationships was asking for more than empathy?
Well, there's that, but I just don't show empathy the way that I feel like the average person does. So,
can you?
I'm trying to think of an example as I'm speaking. I guess because I'm not like a, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that this is happening to you. Are you okay? Lay your head on mama's titty. I'm not one of those.
I think you are, though.
With you. And Twan. But
I'm not convinced, honestly.
I promise you.
I feel like this may be one of those times where you perceiving yourself as something differently than you are.
Well, I'm talking about
You absolutely are super empathetic and super are like bring people in. Like, yeah.
Okay, so what was niggas talking about then?
That's what I'm saying about like sometimes we be kind of low key like taking stuff in like it's our fault or it's our responsibility or something, but you be doing all you can do for people and they just be wanting more and more. Like that doesn't make you less empathetic. That means that they was asking you for more than just empathy. Like,
Okay.
but the empathy don't always have to be like I'm showing you in a physical way that I feel bad for you or something. You know what I'm saying? Like me just offering understanding is enough. Like I understand what you're going through. Like that's empathy. You know, it don't have to be like a whole shebang like a soap opera.
Yeah.
Most people don't even want that. Well, most people are not even ready to receive it. Like
This is true.
yeah. Well, with emotional intelligence, there are 5 steps or 5 things that go into it of saying like you regularly practice these type of behaviors, you probably are emotionally intelligent person. Okay, so like I said, there's self-awareness, which I feel like is self-explanatory. Okay, it's like being aware of yourself.
Yeah.
Self-awareness seems easy until it's like putting it into practice and like actually realizing yourself. And I feel like there's a thin line between being self-aware and critical of yourself. So you have to also have to be careful with that as far as like your emotional intelligence is concerned. Like, are you being self-aware or are you like being nitpicky? You know what I'm saying?
Like criticizing yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Drag me a little.
I'm dragging myself, honestly. And then of course there's self-regulation. So that's being able to regulate how you feel. And I feel like what it comes down to is grounding yourself in any moment. Like last week when we was talking and I was thinking, why didn't I say grounding yourself? Like that's literally what we were talking about, was just grounding your energy, like being able to be grounded. I was talking about homeostasis. Like it's like literally just being grounded.
Sometimes you just gotta hear it different. It was hidden, you know.
And then there's empathy, of course, like what we just talked about. And then motivation. At first I was like, I don't understand, like, why is this here?
Motivation?
Yeah.
Well, why do you think it's there now?
I feel like there has to be a willingness to grow and change. And so there has to be some motivation for you to want to be more emotionally intelligent or to reach people on a more deeper level. Because you could definitely have relationships and not have any emotional intelligence, but they're going to be more difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like they're going to be very surface level too. Because, I don't know. Emotional intelligence is like having... It's like intimacy with yourself and other people. So, yeah.
It says, being motivated consists of enjoying what you do, working towards achieving your goals, and not being motivated by money or status. And that is like specifically within emotional intelligence.
Yikes.
So you can't be like, oh, if I move differently, then I'm gonna start making more money. Like, you know what I'm saying? It has to be like a true like urge to just want to be a healthier version of yourself and be, because I mean, I feel like those two things don't go together. Like, you really absolutely listening to your feelings and what you want to do, or you doing the thing that make you the most money. Like,
Damn.
it's not always like those two things don't go together. Like, either you being emotionally intelligent or you chasing a bag. Which one?
I want to do both.
That kind of makes me feel like how all those, like, what do you call them? Those hustle people?
LLC Twitter and all
Yeah.
of them. Assets over liabilities. You know what? One of those first 48 shows was on in the gym, and a nigga had on one of those shirts. Assets over liabilities. I thought that was hilarious. Because now look at you. Completely missed the message. Like,
Yeah.
what?
No, I feel like I don't know what I was getting at.
Shout out to InvestFest.
InvestFest. How do you know so much about this?
They talk about it on a podcast that I listen to.
Oh, I was about to say. She's in the cult, y'all.
I'm not. Y'all are not going to trick me into buying stocks without knowing what the fuck is going on.
You could be like my niece's husband and just get involved so you can find out what's going on. And then get out.
I mean, that's basically what I be doing. I get the gist. I understand the point and the need for the information
Mm-hmm.
in the community, I guess. But at the end of the day, they're all motivated by money.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like it's just I can't receive all of the information if
Yeah.
that's your only motivation. Like, I'm not at that point in my life anymore, I don't think. I'm a little bit.
I feel like that's like emotional manipulation. What they be doing is because they be finding people who are at their lowest place financially, and so all they can do is like believe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I believe I can get this money by doing this or doing that, and like what we talked about on the last episode is like, it's just like not real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you got to do something to get what you want. You know what I'm saying? You have to have like those basic needs met or whatever. And if you're not getting them met, then yeah, it's easy for you to fall into a trap and start being motivated by money or by the status that you can give. But you'll never be fulfilled when you get the money or when you get the status. Like, because your soul do not want no money. Like, y'all got to be goofy to think that money is completely man-made, and your soul that's been evolving for countless lifetimes came back here and was like, I just gotta get a bag this time. Like, no, they wasn't. Like, you can't be evolving emotionally and spiritually and then your purpose still be heavily tied to how much money you make or who it is that you're being out there.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe it. I don't believe that's real. Like, that's just my personal thing, you know. I ain't like telling y'all, if you think you can do both, go ahead and try. But there's never going to be a balance. It's always going to feel like something is missing. You're never going to truly be fulfilled because nobody's sole purpose is to get money. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. It takes a certain level of personal growth and finding a certain level of peace in your mind to get past the money part, though. Because it's a lot of people that money is the mission.
Mm-hmm.
And everything they do, it always comes back to business or how much money they can make. And it's like, it's cool to want money. Because, especially now, you need the resource.
Mm-hmm.
But everything can't always be about money. Like, go outside.
It reminds me of like a Nipsey Hussle interview. And he was basically saying how there's certain people he stay away from. And it's like people who are money motivated. Because they'll do anything to get the money. You know what I'm saying? And that's like a very dangerous game to be playing around with people. Like, I'm not. People say, oh, I don't play about my money. Play on my money all day. Do what you gotta do.
Hold on now.
But I don't play about my spirit. You know what I'm saying? I don't play about my soul's evolution. So, like, I wouldn't want to get mixed up with those type of people any day. They'll do anything to get some money, and I can't. Like, depending on your own morals and values, you'll see that certain stuff is harmful to other people, other groups of people, marginalized communities, and you won't be willing to do anything for money. And if you are, you're extremely out of alignment, and it don't matter how many millions of dollars you make, that doesn't make you a decent person.
Facts.
And the last puzzle piece for emotional intelligence is social skills. And when I thought about social skills, I immediately thought about the relationship with Max and Neva. Specifically Max. My son has DMDD, which is basically like an emotional disorder where his feelings be on 10. So if he's sad, it's sad on 10. But more than anything, his sadness or his happiness, whatever emotion he's feeling, is channeled into anger. And it reminds me of this bubble, this like iceberg. I think it was my sister who had sent it to me originally. And it's like, say on the top of the iceberg, the emotion might be anger. But then under the iceberg, underneath the sea level, where your feelings really are, then you'll see disappointment, or you know what I'm saying, like that you was let down by something, or you was sad, or all these other feelings that could are something else, but then people express them as like anger. And like I had to learn how to deal with that. I didn't have like no emotional intelligence at all. I had to learn how to process my own feelings about what was happening or what Max was doing, and then be in a peaceful state so that I can help him be calm. Because at first I didn't have no emotional intelligence. I was like one of those people that used to whip their kids. And so it was like, beat it out of him. I wasn't beating my son, y'all, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And yeah. In order for us to have a good relationship, a healthy relationship, in order for me to empathize and understand Max, I needed to become more emotional intelligent. I need to have better social skills. Because, like, dead ass, if you out at the ice cream shop and somebody cuts you in line, you can't just start raging on them and punch them in the face. I mean, you can, but, like, is that going to get you what you want?
You're going to jail.
You're going to get kicked the fuck out of the store. You ain't going to get no ice cream at all. And it's like, that's what they mean by social skills. Like, how are you socializing, and how are your emotions peeking through in those social settings?
Yeah.
So, major key.
Major key. That was a good album.
After hearing all this, I feel like I'm more emotionally intelligent than I thought.
Yeah. Give yourself some creds. Sorry.
I'm trying to slap you if you keep on messing around. You want to move into mental health matters?
Mental health matters. Yeah.
So, this week for Mental Health Matters, we want to suggest that you actually take the time to process your feelings and emotions, okay? Last week in Mental Health Matters, we said that your feelings matter. And so now that you know your feelings matter, it's time to process it, okay? It's time to allow yourself to feel safe, to be present and validate where you are in this experience. And you know what I'm saying? Feel how you feel. You got to feel to heal.
Yeah, you got to feel to heal.
And so, even the littlest things, like you could be upset because it's traffic, or you don't have all the money you need for something. All of that stuff, all of those feelings are super fucking valid, and your emotions have a lot of power. And so you can use that emotions to manifest what you do want in your life instead of what you don't want. And your emotions is like little major keys, like, oh my God, what is that feeling I have in my chest? it's me not wanting to go to dinner with my friends. Like, don't go, you know? And then your homegirl hit you up and be like, girl, that dinner was so crazy. You glad you didn't come? And be like, you be knowing.
Yeah.
Like, your feelings matter.
Psychic.
I did want to, like, have a question to pose this week for Mental Health Matters.
Okay.
Which I've already posed to you, but now we're going to, you know, ask you guys, the audience. Are you emotionally intelligent? Based off of the things that we said, do you think this applies to you? I want to go over a few things that says 5 characteristics of emotionally intelligent people. And if you are, you know what I'm saying, if you only get 1 or 2 of these things on the list, you probably need to work on it. If you got a few, 3, 4, that means that you're already working on it and you should be proud of the progress that you made. Now, if you like basically got all 5 of them, then bitch, you're doing a great job. Keep it up.
You're doing a good job.
Okay, so the first one is that you are a change agent. You aren't afraid of change or taking risks. So these are the 5 characteristics of emotionally intelligent people. 1, you're a change agent. You aren't afraid of change or taking a risk. 2, you are self-aware. You don't let weaknesses hold you back. And you also know what you're feeling. When you have a feeling, you know it. Number 3, you're empathetic and you can relate to others and their feelings. Number 4, you're balanced. You know how to maintain balance and practice self-care. And 5, you are gracious. You have a glass half full mentality and you feel good about your life. So, with all that being said, are you emotionally intelligent? Super important.
And these are like things that you have to also practice constantly and consistently. It's not something really I feel like you can master and then it's like, yeah, I'm emotionally intelligent now. You got to keep doing it.
Yeah. That reminds me of this interview I seen Amanda Seales doing. And she went on another podcast, which I don't know what it was, so I'm sorry, y'all. You just got to Google Amanda Seales on TikTok. Google. Search it. And she was talking about her relationship with her significant other, but she was basically saying that she realized basically when she was, you know, choosing the relationship and that how every aspect of the relationship is a practice. And so the practice doesn't just look like, oh, I asked them to do something one time and then they fixed it for a couple of weeks, but then they didn't. And she was like, the practice is also on my end, realizing that maybe it's going to take more than me telling them a few times. Maybe I need to be patient where this person is at in their journey of either their willingness to learn or change or just the fact that maybe they're just not capable of it at the moment. But also giving that same energy to yourself. Like maybe even though I really want to overcome this habit, maybe who I am right now, I'm just not capable of it. Maybe the environment that I have right now is not supportive of me overcoming this habit. Like, and that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I would have never been able to like stop drinking if I was still surrounded by people or the environment where it was a lot of drinking. Like, a lot of my friends and my family, they drink a lot, like, just for fun or whatever. Or, I mean, alcoholism is kind of rampant in my family, even though it doesn't really get discussed. And so, like, my choice to stop drinking or whatever, I'll be feeling like, oh, I shouldn't go. I'm not into that vibe right now or something like that. Or just being conscious that, like, okay, it definitely will be more difficult for me to overcome like alcoholism if I was in that environment. So like
Yeah. I feel that. I respect that.
I appreciate it. You want to move into forest bias this week?
Let's do it. Let's talk about us. Yeah.
So it is the last week of August, which means we are closing up Black Business Month. But that doesn't mean that you have to stop patroning Black businesses, okay? Remember, there's always somebody Black you can get to do with it.
Always.
This week I wanted to highlight a Nigerian sculptor named John Amanam. Okay, his business is called Immortal Cosmetic Art, and he creates prosthetics that are specifically for Black people with Black skin tones, with Black features. And shout out to John. Yeah, it's like stuff that don't impact you never think about it. I would have never thought about Black prosthetics, but John, he had a brother who lost some of his limbs or whatever, like some of his fingers, and then his brother didn't have what he needed. You know what I'm saying? And so him being an artist, he was like, I'm going to create what my brother needs. And that's on period.
That's dope too. To
So
even
dope.
want to do that. Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah. You can follow him on Instagram, or you can support his cause, or, you know, you can send information to people who may be needing their prosthetics that are Black. So shout out, because it matters. Representation matters in every area. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah. Represent your clique. Represent your clique. Shout out Lil Jon.
Yeah, shout out Lil Jon. He's actually one person you can actually shout out.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? Off topic. But like, you know, back in the day when we was kids, probably there was people who would say like Lil Jon's music is bad. Like, don't listen to Lil Jon. He's promoting drinking and fighting
a lot of profanity.
Yeah, profanity, and it's like, that's crazy, because now he's like a family guy, like got a show on the Home Design Network. Like,
he's that guy.
He's that guy. I love Lil Jon. When I was in boot camp, we used to have to like have something to say for every time we sat down or got up. And we would be like, when somebody said something to us and we had to respond, we would be like, yeah. And whenever we had to sit down, we would be like, okay.
That's cute. That was a moment though.
It was a moment in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we can move into the breaks. Do you have anything for the music of the week? Has anything dropped that got you excited?
Nothing's dropped that has me excited. However, Renaissance has me in a chokehold right now. Specifically, Plastic Off the Sofa and Virgo's Groove. It's just so sexy and sensual and just... it feels like love.
That's so crazy, because when I tell you I could not get Cherry to listen to this album, and that's cool because I had to take my time to warm up too. And then once I got in it, I couldn't get out.
Yeah, she's got me.
I'm happy for you.
It's
I'm
really
happy
the
that you're
concert
here.
that did it.
You know what they say, like after you go to the concert, you start having withdrawals. It might be true what they saying about her.
I want to go back.
You want to go?
Yeah.
Frank is going this weekend. She gonna be in LA. Let's go to LA.
Let's fly to LA. Let's do it.
That would be cool. We could do like that one girl. Did you see that TikTok where the girl bought tickets like 10 minutes before the show, and she got like basically like front row seats for like $50?
I don't want to stand up the whole time though.
Well, would you stand up for $50 like in the front row?
For 2-3
Absolutely.
hours? I gotta do that at work every day. I ain't trying to...
You're not doing it.
I'm good.
You can't do it to get paid. You can't. You only offering to do it when they're paying you. You're not paying to stand.
Yeah.
I feel it. Because when me and Summer had went to that Ludacris concert,
it's a lot.
and when I got there, I was like, I didn't realize that floor seats cement on the floor. Like, yeah, we was standing up the whole time. And when I tell you, we had fun for sure, but when it was time to go, we was ready to go. Okay.
Yeah, I can't do it. And they be so close together. No,
it was not really packed like that. So, well, this week for the breaks, Jessie Reyes dropped a new song with Miguel. It's called Jeans. I told y'all I was in my R&B bag, and I meant that. And so, rap music just ain't really doing it for me right now. To me, it sounds like noise in my ear, which...
Uh-oh.
Stop. There's a time and a place for everything. Y'all know it. Sometimes you be more in a slow jam vibe, and sometimes you be more in a raunchy vibe or more in a street vibe. And right now, I'm just giving, ballads.
Cut all that racket down.
Yeah, this song's really cute. I like it. I really like Jessie Reyes. She's one of my favorite singers, actually. So I was excited to see the song, and I like the song. It's basically like saying, you're the one, like, you're perfect for me. So, yeah.
Is there any more room for me? That was all I could think about while I was listening to the song. I think that's another reason why I left, because I couldn't give it its present moment.
Yeah. That song sounds nothing like that, by the way. I don't know.
It doesn't. It was just genuine. He knew what he was doing.
Okay. Well, I didn't have anything else, so we can go into Reel It In. Is there anything new coming out that you're excited about or that you're watching right now?
Winning Time, the show about the Lakers dynasty. It's like Lakers dynasty and Magic Johnson. I can't figure out which one is supposed to be the main character. Season 2, not the whole thing is dropped, but they're dropping the episodes every week. I let them stack up to 4, and then I watched. It's still good. Honestly, if you haven't checked it out, I think you should watch it.
Yeah.
All of y'all.
I remember watching it with you. It was a good show. It had decent acting in it. And they wasn't hiding the basketball player unlike some people.
They weren't what?
Hiding it.
What you mean?
I'm referring to Air, where like the whole time you never see Michael Jordan's face.
Well, I mean,
that was mad annoying.
Yeah. They were OD with that, but
How
I'm pretty
you gonna
sure
make a whole movie talking about a shoe that you made off of this dude's name, but never show his face the whole time? Like, I didn't get it. I'm sure it meant something.
It had to be some legal shit.
But
it had to be.
I just didn't get it.
Yeah. It also makes me wonder if we're gonna get a Jordan movie. Like a real one, not like Space Jam.
Right.
Although Space Jam is a classic.
I feel like nobody's willing to pay him what he want to get paid. Hence the movie.
Oh, so they're going to wait till he leaves us?
That's probably what's going to happen. But, I mean, don't let his parents, or at least his mom, outlive him because she don't play.
Shout out to moms.
She's going to be like Aaliyah's parents. Like, y'all aren't getting none of this. It won't be no streams, nothing. You can't listen to Aaliyah nowhere unless it's YouTube. And I think maybe they finally had released one of her old albums like a couple years ago or something on Apple Music. But besides that...
Yeah, I think that was only because somebody else owned that. So...
Yeah, it's kind of sad to see all that music they give and then you can't even enjoy it.
Yeah.
What's that show streaming on?
It's on Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are you making time for this week?
I'm gonna make time for a decent bedtime. The last couple nights I've been up to like 2. I just haven't been ready to end the day.
I feel like we traded spots. I was like on all-nighter mode for a whole month. And now I'm like, soon as you walk in the door, I'll be like, oh. Like instantly I'm ready to go to sleep.
I'm going to bed tonight. I don't know. I feel like I just be missing my days. Like, I just want to
stay in.
Yeah.
You're not missing anything but sleep, honestly, truly.
Yeah. You're right. What you making time for?
What am I making time for? I really want to make time just to be still. I know that's like a cop-out answer, but I have the worst time just feeling inadequate because I'm not doing something right now. Like, I'm not working. I'm not doing some type of secret special project. I'm not, like, putting a lot of energy or effort into my business. But I think that's exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. And so this week I just want to give myself the opportunity to be still. You know what I'm saying?
There's a gospel song just going, but I'm going to keep it to myself.
Thanks.
This time.
I appreciate you respecting my boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, without further ado,
I've got time.